Hello again. Christmas is really close now. You can almost hear the sleigh bells and the clatter of hoofs on the rooftops. I love questions. I always have, and I hope I always will. When my children were small, we had a set of books called Why Do, and they each spoke about a different set of questions. I still ask questions now, all the time. Why? Are you a bit like that? I just want to know more and more to understand how the world works. Today we hear about a conversation and a couple of questions by the little bear and a stranger that he meets upon his journey. So let's see what they are, shall we? On December the 17th, Benjamin opened the next door and uncovered a precious stone. Early in the morning, the little lamb and the little bear met a man who sat staring at a bright red stone. "What are you doing?" asked the little bear. "I'm thinking," said the man. "For many years I've been thinking." "What about?" asked the little bear. "I would like to ask you a question, little bear," said the man. "I will give you this precious stone if you can tell me, where does God live?" The little bear said nothing for a while. Then he said quietly, "I will give you this precious rosebush if you can tell me where God does not live." The man looked at the little bear for a long time. "Little bear," he finally said, "you are very wise. Where are you headed?" "To Bethlehem, where a new king is to be born," answered the bear. "I wish I could go too," said the man, "but one of my legs is far too weak." With effort he stood up and limped a few steps. "Here," said the little bear, "this cane is for you. Just follow the star. You'll make it, I'm sure." Benjamin sighed happily. Mother Bear patted him gently. "The little bear was very wise," she said. "God does live everywhere." Indeed he does. And so we're going to go through our Advent calendar window now and see whether or not we can identify who the next character in our story might be. Welcome back again. 17 days in. That means there's 7 nights left until we actually have Christmas Eve. Isn't that wonderful to think? We've only got a week left before it's going to be Christmas. Today we're going to add another character into our nativity scene. Shall we see who it is? I love this picture. It's a man, again with a bird on his back, but given a parcel of fish, a basket full of fish. There's a story that happens with Jesus in the Bible where there's lots of people gathered round to hear him speak. And he suggests that they should be fed, but there's no food. And a little boy comes up with 2 loaves and 5 fishes, and they spread it out amongst 5,000 people. Five loaves and 2 fishes, and they spread it out amongst 5,000 people, and it goes all the way. I like to think that actually people got their packed lunches out and shared them as well. That idea of giving what we have to God, giving our gifts and our talents and all the things that we can do, and saying, "Do you know what, I'm going to use this to be the best that I can be for the God that loves me so much." So let's pop this gentleman into the nativity, number 17. There he is, safe in there. Give him what he can to God. I don't know what you're good at. I'm sure that you're able to give something to God, even if it's just the love of your heart. Come back tomorrow and we'll put another character into our nativity. Christmas is usually a big family celebration in our household. It's always been a time when the whole family get together for a big celebration. We would laugh, sing songs, play lots of silly party games, or just sit and chat, catching up with the people that maybe we haven't seen for a while. I'm sure you know that this Christmas is going to be a little bit different to the usual Christmases that we have. We won't be meeting in large groups, and maybe like our house, you're only going to see your parents or whoever looks after you. Today's story tells of the way Christmas brings people together. And even though we can't maybe gather in large numbers this year, we can still think about those that we love and care about. And maybe in a few months' time, we'll be able to all meet up again for a bigger celebration. So this is a Christmas tree for everyone. There were once two children, a boy and a girl about the same size and age as you. They accompanied their father, trudging through the snow-covered forest in search of a Christmas tree. They looked at lots of fir trees, but there was something wrong with each of them. "No, that's too big for our living room," said the boy, but the next one was too small. "That one's all crooked," shouted the girl, and then their father moaned. "And that one's lost all its branches at the back." Then they found that one had two tops. It looked funny, but it wasn't the right tree for them. They needed a break, and so they sat on a sunny wooden bench and ate cheese sandwiches and apples. Their father also conjured up some gingerbread cakes from his coat pocket, after which they plodded on. The father looked to the left of the path and the children to the right. Suddenly the children came to a broad clearing, and there it was, the fir tree of fir trees. It had grown up straight, not too big and not too small, not too thick and not too thin. Snow crystals sparkled on its wide, curving branches. "Dad, come and look," the children shouted. "We found the best Christmas tree in the whole world." Their father came hurrying along, and he let out a large whistle. "Wow, that is absolutely perfect." The three of them stood in the clearing, admiring the tree. Then suddenly the girl asked, "Dad, how old do you think this tree is?" "Roughly as old as you," said his father, pulling his saw out of his backpack. "Right, let's cut this world champion down and carry him home." But the girl shouted, "No, Dad, wait." She ran to the tree and took hold of two thick branches. It almost seemed as if the branches were reaching out to her. The girl cocked her head to one side and listened. Then she said, "The fir tree has just told me he doesn't want to be cut down. He's still only a child." "Yes, but we're looking for a Christmas tree to take home," protested the father. The boy ran to join his sister and also listened. "The fir tree says that he'd really like to be a Christmas tree, but just not in our living room." "Yes, but where then?" asked the father, somewhat surprised. The children listened again. "The fir tree said we could all come and celebrate Christmas here with him. Then he'd be a Christmas tree for lots of people, and not just for one family." "Yes, but then everyone would have to come here, into the forest," cried the father. "Exactly," cried the children. "Who says that everyone has to have their own Christmas tree? We'll simply share this one," the girl announced. "Then we'll celebrate here, and afterwards we'll celebrate at home with our Advent wreath, and the beautiful fir tree can carry on growing. When we get home, we'll ask Grandma and Grandpa if they'd like to come with us." And so it came about that on that afternoon of Christmas Eve, a strange procession entered the forest. First came the girl and the boy carrying a large homemade star. They showed everyone else the way. Behind them were their parents and grandparents and a lot of other people from the village. They were all carrying baskets of food and backpacks. Once they reached the clearing, they built a fire and hung a pot of fruit punch over it. Then together they decorated the Christmas tree. Everyone had brought along some candles and decorations, so that soon the tree was a mass of bright colours. Aunt Polly and Uncle Alf played the guitar. The farmers also came from the other side of the valley, and they brought their donkey, on which all the children were allowed to ride once around the clearing. When night fell, they lit the candles on the Christmas tree and went on singing carols until even the donkey joined in. That made everyone laugh. As for the boy and the girl, who were about the same size and age as you, what did they do? Together with the most beautiful Christmas tree in the world, they smiled the happiest smiles you have ever seen, because now the tree could carry on growing and could look forward to next year, when once again he would be a Christmas tree for everyone. I can't wait until that time when we can all meet up together and spend time in each other's company. I hope that even if you're only with your family, the Christmas you still have is a wonderful one. I'm sure that you will have a great time. Anyway, I wish you all a peaceful sleep with lovely sweet dreams, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.